What is going on, LEGO Maniacs? It's Ty, the LEGO guy here, and welcome to another episode of Old School Wednesdays. Today we're going quite old. We're going all the way back to the Unitron theme, and we're taking a look at the Crater Cruiser. That's set 1787. I couldn't believe it started with a 1. It's really old. It had 2 minifigs, 183 pieces, retailed for about 18 US, and it came out in 1995. Now nowadays this set's going for 94 new or 42 used. So anyways, it's actually a pretty good set. It really takes me back to my childhood. I had this when I was a really little dude. I think my parents bought me this at the end of its retirement at like Shoppers Drug Mart or something. Anyways, a lot of good things to say about it. I have huge nostalgia for this set. We're gonna get into exactly why. But enough talk, let's get right into it. And here this guy is. So what we're gonna do, as usual, is give you guys a 360 view of this. Now, keep in mind, back in the day, this was actually considered a medium-sized set. By today's standards, it's definitely considered small-ish, more smaller. Although I'd say it's probably like the large sets of the small models, if that makes any sense. Like it's almost a medium-sized model. Now what we're gonna actually do is break it down area by area, or actually should say like vehicle by vehicle, and yeah, see what they're all about. So what's really cool about this model, and I played with this so much while I was a kid, this feature was very well used. I like the way it looks with the ship on top, but you guys didn't know, this comes right off, just like so, which is absolutely fantastic, very creative on LEGO's part. And I would consider that a really good play feature. I mean, now you have 2 vehicles, right? Let's now take a look though at the smaller ship. And here's the small spacecraft. But I have to say, guys, this is probably my favorite space, like smaller ship. Look how fantastic this looks. What an amazing looking little model. I mean, I just think it looks so sleek. Such a good design. Love the nostalgic, like blue and yellow, just absolutely incredible. And what's really cool is just to access them, the window literally just comes up like so. Nice looking little control panel. Nothing too much to say about it, but it just looks good. I love the fact that he has some controls. It only does fit 1 minifig, which isn't a bad thing. It's not, you know, you don't really have to have it fit 2. And then it has these little, they're almost like these little rods. I always consider them somewhat like blasters or whatnot. Although, I don't know, they kind of look really weird when you have a minifig holding them. But anyways, that's the spacecraft itself. I love the engine design on it as well. Just all in all, very good looking little model. You'd be hard pressed to actually make a better looking spacecraft this size with pieces that we have today. I just think it looks really good, really sleek. It kind of looks like a little rocket. Anyways, that's the smaller vehicle that's included. Let's now take a look at the actual rover. And now we've come to the actual rover. So this has great drivability if you're a kid. I remember rolling this around a lot. It's just, it works really well and actually has a really cool feature. So let's just give you guys a 360 view of this guy very quickly without the spacecraft. As you can see, it's obviously missing something and it doesn't look quite as good. However, what it does do is you push this up and bang. Looks a lot better. Now this thing's very well armed. It's ready to go to business. Just so good looking. I love the look of blue and yellow. Like the translucent pieces just look fantastic. Big fan of them. These antennas also move back and forth, but I kind of like them in that position. And then if I'll open up the cockpit, it's much the same as the little spaceship as well. Same little control panel. I don't quite like this cockpit as much just because there's a lot of gaping holes in it, which I'm not a big fan of. I wish they would just clean that up. There was actually these somewhat half triangle pieces and it would perfectly cover up the minifig. It gives it a better feel, I'd say, but we're getting picky. It's just something I've noticed with some older space sets is the gaps. Like The little space shuttle, not a lot of gappage, but on this one, there's a lot in the cockpit. But besides that, really do like it. This is what they kind of look like side by side. The dynamic duo, if you want to call it that. But yeah, just all in all, very great, awesome looking space sets. I think Unitron was a great theme. And I'm hoping LEGO will one day remake just the authentic futuristic space. Anyways, those are the sets. Let's now take a look at the minifigs. And here we have the 2 minifigs that are included with this model. So I just gotta say, I love the coloring. Light gray on yellow with blue. I love these translucent visors, just like looks fantastic. The other thing I wanted to mention is both Spyrus and Unitron had these custom prints on the top of their helmets, and look how good that looks. Huge fan of that. I really hope LEGO does more stuff like that. I guess they do that with Rebel Troopers and Star Wars, but it could be something we see more of. I would not be against it. I also love his face printing. I love the visor. Just looks, I mean, a visor within a visor doesn't really make too much sense, but I think he looks cool regardless. And it was unique as of 1995. This face was reused again in Robo Force. Just really, really good looking. I love the torso print. Now, bear in mind these guys don't have any back face printing, back torso printing. They got none of that. However, I think they get the job done. They look really good. The one on the left, a little bit lackluster. Not a huge fan. Just has that custom space face. If you guys know about the space theme, this face has been seen everywhere, even in city sets a little bit, like Space City sets back in the day. But all in all, still nice looking. I definitely like the minifig more on the right. Anyways, those are the minifigs, and actually, believe it or not, these are the only 2 that were ever used in Unitron. They didn't really deviate from these 2 guys. But let's now move on to the end of the review and get my final thoughts. Well guys, that was my review. Do hope you enjoyed it. Honestly, this set's great. I love the fact that it's like a land vehicle, and that's probably my favorite old style spaceship that's at least small to date. Like, I love the fact that little shuttle comes off and you can kind of like take them on together. Then also that big, big gun basically comes out and, supports the land vehicle. I just thought it was great. Like, it's overly aggressive, but it's kind of fantastic because of it. I mean, who doesn't like awesome looking spaceships with big blasters? But let me know what you guys think about this set, if you like it, if you don't, if you possibly own it, any areas you think they can maybe improve on it. I just think the old space theme was really, really good, and it had a lot going for it. But anyways, that's all I got for you today. But if you like this video, leave it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, definitely consider subscribing and click that bell so you're notified for any new old sets we do on the channel. But yeah, thanks again. Appreciate the support, guys. Yeah, it wouldn't be possible without you guys, as cliche as that sounds. And I'll catch you on the next one.